And here we are back. It's a beautiful Monday, the start of a brand new week. Anything could happen this week, guys. Get excited. Helen Lewis is in the house as well, just joined on Periscope or Twitter. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me know if anyone got any exciting news, anything going on. Anyone on the audio experience, if you're listening on the replay and you've got exciting news, drop me a tweet at ActOnThisTV, at Ross A. Grant. Would love to hear from you. So how's it going? I got some, like I said on the broadcast last week. On Wednesday night's book club, I got some great news last week. Got the job on that animation job. I can't tell you too much about just now, but I did the first session of it last Thursday. Man, it's a riot. Honestly, it's different to any other animation job I've done in my life because it's not dubbing. We're actually we're reading and recording the audio without any picture already being done or any animation already being done. That will then happen later. So you can be so much freer with your performance. It's amazing. Normally, I do stuff that's dubbed, so you've got to fit all your words into like the mouth movements that are already there. It's so different doing it from scratch. Like, I swear, it's the best fun ever. Everybody should get into voiceover and animation. And if I can help you do that, let me know. Jamie's on Facebook. Jamie, good evening. I launched, guys, you probably had an email off me if you're on the email list. I launched episode 4 of Watch Ross this morning. It's probably I reckon it's the funniest episode of my weekly vlog that I've put out at the moment. I'm sure no one on here who's regular is unaware that I do this weekly vlog now. But if you are, get yourself over to facebook.com/Watch Ross or search for Watch Ross on YouTube. And you can watch 4 Watch Rosses so far. They come out every Monday. They're roughly half an hour long, and it's basically the highlights of the previous week. So in episode 4 that came out this morning, you'll see me do a voiceover for a documentary. You'll see us visit Hotel Football, Gary Neville's hotel, for some business meetings. Talk about all kinds of stuff. It's basically my acting career, my voiceover career, online business, Act on This, the website, behind the scenes, a clothing line that I'm trying to launch and bring out, all kinds of stuff. Here's a 60-second trailer for this week's episode, and then we will get stuck into what we're going to talk about tonight. But this is just to whet your appetite. I've got some amazing news to announce.
Oh.
Well.
Is it?
Are these all my scripts?
These are all yours?
Oh my goodness, how many episodes are we doing today? I don't need a date in sight. Look at me, I'm surrounded by women. Decaf? What's the point in that? You see this girl who clearly looks like an American supermodel. In the background are American number plates. And she says she's Jenny, 22, from Scunthorpe. Bullshit. I'm thinking whitewater rafting, wrestling with a bear, maybe free climb up the Manchester Hilton. Jade, this is too hard. Tweet me if we were on a first date and I dressed like this. Would you personality over style? Right, very exciting. So as you saw, we got kicked out of The Alchemist. Basically, we were dancing. Watch Dog? I don't think so. Watch Ross. Yeah, Watch Dog? No, I don't think so. Watch Ross. That's a 60-second clip of 30 minutes of shenanigans that went out on the vlog this morning. Like I say, facebook.com/Watch Ross or search on YouTube for Watch Ross. And particularly, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel and you leave a comment on the videos, okay? You can leave like a comment on each video if you like, or just whatever you like. I'm going to be drawing one person from the YouTube channel at random at the end of this year who has subscribed and left a comment. You can just, each comment is an entry into the prize draw effectively. And if you're an actor, I'm going to pay for your spotlight for next year. It's like 150 quid. I will pay for your spotlight for you. If you're not an actor, I'll just get you something that's a cool gift for the equivalent price. So I can't say fairer than that. I want to thank people for supporting me, for watching the vlog, for sharing it, and hopefully, being entertained by it, maybe a little bit inspired, and maybe going out and doing something similar themselves. So get yourself over to YouTube in particular, and subscribe. Turn notifications on, and every time I launch a video on a Monday, you'll get a little email going, Ross has put another one up. Marco is here as well. Thank you for retweeting this as well. Before we begin, whack this out as a retweet if you can, guys. Alex Hewitt's here on Facebook as well. Share it on Facebook if you would be so kind, because I think what we're going to do tonight is, we're going to make some impact. Nicole is here as well. Thank you for the congrats on the job, Nicole. It's awesome, honestly. Really having the time of my life. What I want to talk to you about tonight is, it actually came about because someone was asking me earlier today, about my morning routine, and they were going, we would love to see your morning routine on the vlog, and it's something that I'll probably do at some point. It will mean getting poor Petch, who films the vlog for me, round my house about 6 a.m, and I'll take you to the gym, and I'll take you to the walk there and the walk back and everything in the gym, and then breakfast and all that kind of stuff. I think morning routine is critical for a great day. It really is, and it's something that I've worked on very hard on the last 2 years to make it, I can't believe it's been 2 years, literally 2 years since I've been doing the 6 a.m. starts and going to the gym in the morning. I always used to be a night owl and work out at night. I can't believe it's been 2 years since I've actually been a bit of a morning person now. Bobby says, are you a zombie in the morning? Slightly zombie-esque, Bobby. But one thing for me that I've not really commented on before or realised I've really realised I've been doing that much, but every single day on the way back from the gym, and it's about a 15-minute walk, I will listen to a piece of like hardcore motivational speaking, whether that's a video or an audio podcast, but something that's a very traditional, sometimes science-backed with a bit of evidence in there what they're talking about, but a proper motivational speech. And I know motivational speaking kind of can seem sometimes very airy-fairy, can't it? It can seem like, oh, well, that's all very good, but it's just a bit of motivation. It doesn't last. You listen to something, you get pumped up, and then like 10 minutes later, you feel like shit again. What I find motivational speeches do for me is they can very often be the catalyst for action, okay? And yes, motivation doesn't last. External motivation doesn't last. So actually, we're all on the pursuit for internal motivation, where you can get up every morning, get yourself out of bed, and get yourself motivated without having to listen to something. But every day, I will pump myself up first thing with something that's external motivation, which I think, kind of sets alight the internal motivation inside me. You have to act on whatever it is you want very soon after listening to that motivation for you to actually act, because if you leave it too long, you will just slump back down. But I think it's been a really integral part of me actually kind of like getting shit done on a day, every single day. And you'll see on the vlog how many meetings I fit in a day and where I go and what I do, and then I'm still back here and I'm still publishing stuff on here and I'm still doing live broadcasts, and I'm constantly doing stuff. And I think a lot of it is down to starting the day off in the right way, and that motivational speaking is a real it's a real thing for me. It's a big thing. So tonight I just want to look at why you should listen to motivational speeches daily. And then I'm going to play a motivational speech out that I'm pretty sure everyone in here is going to already have heard. But I think you should listen to it again. And I think sometimes, I've listened to some stuff on the way to and from the gym 2 or 3 times over, a month. I'll listen to the same thing like 1 week and I go, actually, I'm going to listen to that again because it really fires me up. And even if you have seen what I'm going to play tonight, I want you to watch it again and just really listen intently. Don't watch it passively. You won't retain the information if you do that. Don't have one eye on Netflix and one eye on what I'm going to play. Please watch it. And then if you've got something in your life right now that you want to do, hopefully the external motivation you're going to get from this will be that thing that lights the fuse for that internal motivation that will allow you to follow through on that goal that you have in mind. We've done the sharing thing. That's a little slide there. You won't see these on the audio experience, apologies, but I've got a slide up for sharing this broadcast. Give it a share if you haven't shared already. Would massively appreciate that, a retweet or a share on Facebook. Let's have a look. JB's in the house. All right, JB. Alex is here as well, and Mark is here. Mark says, just dropping in for a minute to say hi, but we'll watch the replay. Appreciate you, Mark. Thanks for that. So what's the point of a motivational speech, right? Well, what could we possibly achieve by listening to motivational speeches I put on this slide here? Isn't that a waste of time? And a lot of people think that, right? But no, it's really not. Like I say, a great motivational speech can be a trigger to action. It inspires you to do something. And I've underlined something because often that thing initially that you need to do to gain momentum can be very, very small. It can be sending an email. It can be, creating a folder on your desktop, with the word scripts on it if you're going to write a script. Gary on here is a script writer. Maybe, Gary, you just create, a folder on your desktop saying scene 1. And that's all you do, that morning. But that's just the thing that gives you a bit of momentum to come back to it. So you just, this external motivation forces you often to do something. Powerful speeches also make you realize you are not alone in this world. Sometimes people go through shit in their life and they're like, oh my God, nobody else could possibly understand what I'm going through right now. This is what really, really leads to people like, I don't want to put a bit of a down on this, but like people taking their own lives is when they feel that they're in such a unique position that nobody on this planet could possibly help them because nobody on this planet has ever been in that position before. So how can anybody understand how they're feeling? What you'll find the themes of a lot of motivational speeches are that they highlight the human condition. And the human condition, what I mean by that is struggle, adversity. And where there is adversity, there is always advantage, as I tell everybody, and that then leads to triumph over tragedy. And and how you actually label stories in your life that you thought was a tragedy. You can look at this and sometimes see a motivational speech and go, "Shit, man, that person's been through the exact same thing as me," and look how they used that tragedies, that so-called tragedy that they had in their life, to actually fuel them moving forward and to become the victor of their life as opposed to being the victim. So these speeches prove that everybody matters ultimately and that you matter too. One of your scopes motivated me to join the gym a few months ago, and I've been going regularly ever since. Says Alex, man, that's what I mean. So that's just, so I gave you external motivation on that broadcast, right, which was just enough. I bet you probably took action the next day, because like I say, it doesn't last. External motivation doesn't last. It doesn't mean it's bad though. You probably took action that very next day, and then from there you trained yourself and your mindset to internally motivate you moving forward. And now I bet that's just part of what you do, and I bet if you don't go to the gym you miss it because it's part of your life. That's what I mean about the power of these speeches. So you may have already seen the motivational speech that I want to play to you tonight. And regardless, like I say, please watch it again and listen intently. And then what I'm going to do is, this is like a 23-minute speech. We're all going to watch it. I'm going to sit here and watch it as well. And then we can have a little discussion about it afterwards. Now, this is a bit risky, guys, right? Because I don't know if Facebook's algorithm and not YouTube, because we're not on YouTube tonight, but if Facebook's algorithm and Twitter's algorithm and Periscope's algorithm will pick up this speech for some reason as copyrighted content, because technically I do not own the copyright to this. I'm taking a bit of a risk playing it out, but you got to feel the fear and do it anyway. We have nothing to lose. If for any reason, right, the feed goes down, I think it's more likely to happen on Facebook than it is on Twitter or Periscope, because Facebook seems to be a bit stricter on this kind of stuff. If you're on Facebook and it goes down, I mean, stay there for now. I think it'll be cool. But if it does, go to twitter.com/actonthistv and you can watch the broadcast on there as well. Okay, so you'll be able to catch up on there. I'm being cautious saying that. I don't think it's going to happen, but it has happened once in the last 220 broadcasts that I've done. So I know it can happen when you play copyright material out. I'm hoping it doesn't, okay? And yeah, like Caroline says, I'm not profiting from it. No, I'm not, but effectively, it's a robot that detects this, Caroline, so they don't know that. It's not like it was a human checking out. And I could go, guys, look, I'm just playing this out for fun. But yeah, if it does go down, get yourself over to twitter.com/actonthistv. And the speech we're going to look at tonight is one that, like I say, I know you've probably all watched, and it's Jim Carrey's commencement speech from 2014. I think it's absolutely incredible what he talks about. We'll talk about the lessons in it after this. But this has been, on many occasions, a speech that has motivated me into taking action. Jim's kind of like had a lot of press recently because he's kind of gone into an even more deeper thought on his reality and everything that that kind of goes on around that. I think he's had a bit of tragedy in his life. Well, a shitload of tragedy in his life. Actually, his girlfriend killed herself, didn't she? I think, as far as I know. This was before that. But regardless of what you think of him, because I know Caroline says, I don't normally like Jim Carrey. Listen to what he talks about, though. Whether you like him or not, the stuff that he talks about is so, so true. And regardless of what you think of him, he's been incredibly successful. And what we all want to do, I chose him, obviously, because he's an actor, and everyone in here generally are actors. Fanny said, I think he's phenomenal. I think he's a very special human being. I know people are like, there's allegations of this, that, and the other. There are about most people in Hollywood. But just try and listen unbiased to actually what this guy says and take notes. Like, seriously, there's some incredible lessons to be learnt in this. Hopefully the fee won't go down, and hopefully I'll see you in about 23 minutes, guys. Enjoy, and I'll be back shortly.
Please welcome to speak to us the funniest man on earth, a performer of legendary comic genius, a children's book author of profound depth, an individual of enormous compassion who is doing so much to make our world a better place. The great Jim Carrey.
What are you sitting down for? I was going to milk that for a while. You guys can stretch that out in post, right? You can make that longer in the edit. Thank you, Bevan. Thank you all. Jai Guru Dev. I brought one of my paintings to show you today. I hope you guys are going to be able to see it okay. It's not one of my bigger pieces, so you might want to move down front. Get a good look at it. Faculty, parents, friends, dignified guests, graduating class of 2014. And all the dead baseball players coming out of the corn to be with us today. After the harvest, there's no place for them to hide. Fields are empty. There's no cover there. I'm here to plant a seed today, a seed that will inspire you to move forward in life with enthusiastic hearts and a clear sense of wholeness. The question is, will that seed have a chance to take root, or will I be sued by Monsanto and forced to use their seed? Which may not be totally Ayurvedic. Excuse me if I seem a little bit low energy today, whatever this is. I slept with my head to the north last night. Oh man! Oh man! You know how that is, right, kids? Yeah. Woke up right in the middle of Pitta, couldn't get back to sleep till Vata rolled around. Crazy. But I didn't freak out, you know. I used that time to eat a large meal. Connect with someone special on Tinder. Because life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. How do I know this? I don't, but I'm making sound, and that's the important thing. That's what I'm here to do. Sometimes I think that's the only thing that's important, really, you know? It's just letting each other know we're here. You know? Reminding each other that we're part of a larger self. I used to think Jim Carrey is all that I was. Just a flickering light, a dancing shadow, the great nothing masquerading as something you can name. Seeking shelter in caves and foxholes dug out hastily, an archer searching for his target in the mirror, wounded only by my own arrows, begging to be enslaved, pleading for my chains, blinded by longing and tripping over paradise. Can I get an amen? You didn't think I could be serious, did you? I don't think you understand who you're dealing with. I have no limits. I cannot be contained because I'm the container. You can't contain the container, man. You can't contain the container. I used to believe that who I was ended at the edge of my skin, that I had been given this little vehicle called a body from which to experience creation. And though I couldn't have asked for a sportier model, it was, after all, a loaner and would have to be returned. Then I learned that everything outside the vehicle was part of me too. And now I drive a convertible. down, wind in my hair. Woo! I am elated and truly, truly, truly excited to be present and fully connected to you at this important moment in your journey. I hope you're ready to open the roof and take it all in. Okay, 4 more years then. They're obviously not ready. Just need some more cooking. Now, I want to thank the trustees, the administrators, the faculty of MUM for creating an institution worthy of Maharishi's ideals of education, a place that teaches knowledge and experience, the knowledge and experience necessary to be productive in life, as well as enabling the students through transcendental meditation and ancient Vedic knowledge to slack off twice a day for an hour and a half. Don't think you're fooling me. But I guess it has some benefits. It does allow you to separate who you truly are and what's real from the stories that run through your head. You have given them the ability to walk behind the mind's elaborate set decoration and to see that there's a huge difference between a dog that is going to eat you in your mind and an actual dog that is going to eat you. That may sound like no big deal, but many never learn that distinction. And they spend a great deal of their lives living in fight or flight response. I'd like to acknowledge all of you wonderful parents. Way to go. What a fantastic job you've done. For your tireless dedication, your love, your support, most of all, for the attention that you paid to your children. I have a saying, beware the unloved, because they will eventually hurt themselves or me. But when I look at this group here, you know, I feel really safe. I do. I'm just going to say it. My room is not locked. My room is not locked. No doubt some of you will turn out to be crooks. But white-collar stuff, you know, Wall Street, that type of thing, you know, crimes committed by people with self-esteem. Stuff parents can still be proud of in a weird way. And to the graduating class of 2017, -3. You didn't let me finish. Congratulations. Yes. Give yourself a round of applause, please. Please. Yeah. You are the vanguard of knowledge and consciousness, a new wave in a vast ocean of possibilities. On the other side of that door, there's a world starving for new ideas, new leadership. I've been out there for 30 years. She's a wildcat. Oh, she'll rub up against your leg and purr until you pick her up and start petting her, and then out of nowhere, she'll swat you in the face. It can be rough out there, but that's okay, because there's soft serve ice cream with sprinkles. I guess that's what I'm really trying to say here today. Sometimes it's okay to eat your feelings. Now, fear is going to be a player in your life, but you get to decide how much. You can spend your whole life imagining ghosts, worrying about the pathway to the future, but all there will ever be is what's happening here, and the decisions we make in this moment, which are based in either love or fear. So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it. Please. And if it doesn't happen for you right away, it's only because the universe is so busy fulfilling my order. Party size! My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant. And when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job. And our family had to do whatever we could to survive. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love. It's not the only thing he taught me, though. You know, I watched the effect of my father's love and humor and how it altered the world around me. And I thought, that's something to do. That's something worth my time. It wasn't long before I started acting up. You know, people would come over to the house and they'd be greeted by a 7-year-old throwing himself down a large flight of stairs. They would say, "What happened?" And I would say, "I don't know. Let's check the replay." I'd go back to the top of the stairs and come back down in slow motion. It was a very strange household. My father used to brag that I wasn't a ham, I was the whole pig. And he treated my talent as if it was his second chance. When I was about 28, after a decade as a professional comedian, I realized one night in LA that the purpose of my life had always been to free people from concern, just like my dad. And when I realized this, I dubbed my new devotion the Church of Freedom from Concern. The Church of FFC. And I dedicated myself to that ministry. What's yours? How will you serve the world? What do they need that your talent can provide? That's all you have to figure out. As someone who's done what you're about to go and do, I can tell you from experience, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. Because everything you gain in life will rot and fall apart, and all that will be left of you is what was in your heart. My choosing to free people, from concern got me to the top of a mountain. Look where I am. Look what I get to do. Everywhere I go. I'm going to get emotional because when I tap into this, it really is extraordinary to me. I did something that made people present their best selves to me wherever I go. I am at the top of the mountain, and I was, and the only one I hadn't freed was myself, and that's when my search for identity deepened. I wondered who I'd be without my fame. Who would I be if I said things that people didn't want to hear? Or if I defied their expectations of me? What if I showed up to the party without my Mardi Gras mask and refused to flash my breasts for a handful of beads? I'll give you a moment to wipe that image out of your mind. But you guys are so ahead of the game. You already know who you are. And that peace that we're after, lies somewhere beyond personality, beyond the perception of others, beyond invention and disguise, even beyond effort itself. You can join the game, fight the wars, play with form all you want, but to find real peace, you have to let the armor go. Your need for acceptance can make you invisible in this world. Don't let anything stand in the way of the light that shines through this form. Risk being seen in all of your glory. It's not big enough. This painting is big for a reason. It's called high visibility. It's about picking up the light and daring to be seen. Here's the tricky part. Everyone is attracted to the light. The party host up at the top, who thinks unconsciousness is bliss and is always offering to drink from the bottles that empty you. Misery below her. Despises the light, can't stand when you're doing well, wishes you nothing but the worst. The Queen of Diamonds, under him, needs a king to build her house of cards. And the hollow one down bottom there will cling to your leg and say, please don't leave me behind, for I have abandoned myself. Even those who are closest to you and most in love with you, the people you love most in the world, will find clarity confronting at times. This painting took me thousands of hours to complete. And when I was finished, thank you, thousands of hours, yes. I'll never get them back. I'll never get them back. I worked on this for so long. I was weeks and weeks like a madman alone on a scaffolding. And when I was finished, one of my friends said, this would be a cool blacklight painting. So I started over. Welcome to Burning Man. Some pretty crazy characters up there, but better up there than in here. You know, painting is one of the ways, thank you. Painting is one of the ways I free myself from concern, a way to stop the world through total mental, spiritual, and physical involvement. But even with that comes a feeling of divine dissatisfaction, because ultimately, we're not the avatars we create. We're not the pictures on the film stock. We are the light that shines through. All else is just smoke and mirrors, distracting, but not truly compelling. I've often said that I wished people could realize all their dreams and wealth and fame, and so that they could see that it's not where you're going to find your sense of completion. Like many of you, I was concerned about going out into the world and doing something bigger than myself, until someone smarter than myself made me realize that there is nothing bigger than myself. My soul is not contained within the limits of my body. My body is contained within the limitlessness of my soul. One unified field. One unified field of nothing, dancing for no particular reason, except maybe to comfort and entertain itself. As that shift happens in you, you won't be feeling the world, you'll be felt by it, you'll be embraced by it. Now I'm always at the beginning. I have a reset button, and I ride that button constantly. Once that button is functioning in your life, there's no story that the mind could create that will be as compelling. The imagination is always manufacturing scenarios, both good and bad, and the ego tries to keep you trapped in the multiplex of the mind. Our eyes are not viewers, they're also projectors that are running a second story over the picture. that we see in front of us all the time. Fear is writing that script, and the working title is, I'll Never Be Enough. Now you're going to look at a person like me and say, how could we ever hope to reach those kind of heights, Jim? How can we make a painting that's too big for our home? How do you fly so high without a special breathing apparatus? This is the voice of the ego. And if you listen to it, there will always be someone who's doing better than you. No matter what you gain, ego will not let you rest. It will tell you that you cannot stop until you've left an indelible mark on the earth, until you've achieved immortality. How tricky is this ego that it would tempt us with the promise of something we already possess? So, I just want you to relax. You know, that's my job. Relax and dream up a good life. I had a substitute teacher from Ireland in the 2nd grade that told my class during morning prayer that when she wants something, anything at all, she prays for it and promises something in return, and she always gets what she wants. Well, I'm sitting at the back of the classroom, you know, thinking, wow, my family can't afford a bike, you know. So I went home and I prayed for one. And I promised I would recite the rosary every night in exchange. Broke that promise. But 2 weeks later, I got home from school to find a brand new Mustang bike with a banana seat and Easy Rider handlebars. Yeah. From fool to cool. My family informed me that I had won the bike in a raffle that a friend of mine had entered my name in without my knowledge whatsoever. So that type of thing has been happening to me ever since. And as far as I can tell, it's just about letting the universe know what you want and working toward it while letting go of how it comes to pass. Your job is not to figure out how it's going to happen for you, but to open the door in your head. And when the door opens in real life, just walk through it. And don't worry if you miss your cue, because there's always doors opening. They keep opening. And when I say life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you, I really don't know if that's true. I'm just making a conscious choice to perceive challenges as something beneficial so that I can deal with them in the most productive way. You'll come up with your own style. That's part of the fun. Oh, and why not take a chance on faith as well? Take a chance on faith. Not religion, but faith. Not hope, but faith. I don't believe in hope. Hope is a beggar. Hope walks through the fire, and faith leaps over it. You are ready and able to do beautiful things in this world. And after you walk through those doors today, you will only ever have two choices: love or fear. Choose love, and don't ever let fear turn you against your playful heart. Thank you so much. Thank you again. I'm so honored. Thank you.
There you go. Check it out. I think it's an incredible speech. It takes a few minutes for him to get into it. It's like the first 10 minutes we probably could have cut out, but I think the last 13, 14 minutes of it are pretty incredible. There's an absolute shed load of totally invaluable advice in that. And that was a speech that I listened to couple of years ago, and like I say, was a thing that definitely in a few areas of my life I've come back to it time and time again. And it's been that external motivation that has given me that catalyst and that kind of boost to begin that idea that I've had in my head for ages, whether that was, like an online business, launching a website, doing this right now, doing these periscopes and these Facebook Live broadcasts every single week. What were people's biggest takeaways? I've written, again, because I do this, I've written like 3 pages of notes. I'm going to read you some of the most prevalent bits that stood out for me in that. Anybody else do anything similar to that? Anyone, what's like the main takeaway you took away from that? You don't have to like him, Caroline, to be able to benefit from the wisdom that the guy shows in that speech. Seriously, you definitely should put any prejudices aside and listen. It's seriously, there's some incredible advice in there. Jamie says the best line is, "You can fail at what you don't want, so why not try for what you do?" It's very true. So yeah, Jim says he talks about his dad. He could have been an incredible comedian. There's a lot of people on here right now who could be incredible things. You could be an incredible scriptwriter, but you are, Gary. You could be an incredible actor, actresses. Lots of people on here are. You could be an incredible businessman, whatever you are. I don't know where you're listening to this, what you're watching it on, who you are, what walk of life you're from. You can be incredible at something that you're probably not going for right now. Jim's dad was the same. He chose a safe option. He went to be an accountant. So safe, man. And then tragically, when Jim was 12, his dad was made redundant. So his dad actually failed at what he didn't want to do. So the whole point there, Jamie, is so true, man. You can fail at what you don't want to do. So why the hell not go for what you do want? The whole thing. So Gary said like love and fear. Ultimately, that whole speech comes down to those two things. You can choose love or fear. And a lot of people's default place, because of the human condition, is that they choose fear and they allow that to rule them. Few things. Let's have a look. I've got a few things here that I liked. So he says he's from the Church of Freedom from Concern, isn't it? He said basically that was something that he realised, that his job as a comedian was to free people of concern. If you were running a church, what would your church be, people? I'd definitely have the church of getting shit done, basically. Helping people actually take action. Fail at what you don't want. I've got that there, Jamie, like you said. I thought that was incredible when he said the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. And I really think that's true. I think ultimately, if you operate from that place and that you I have this thing where I'm like, I've got to leave everybody I meet in a better state than I found them. I think that is more valuable than anything else that you can take into a room. If you're an actor, it's more valuable than the talent you can take into the room a lot of the time. If you can make those people feel something as opposed to be technically talented, if you can make people feel emotion, your performance might be raw and not technically sound. Sometimes singers, don't sing, every note perfect. But if they make you feel something, it's often worth more than, perfect pitch. Gary says the church of accepting everyone. Good church, Gaz. The effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. What else have I got there? I can't even read my own writing on some of these things. I wrote so quickly. If you've got any other classics from that, write them on Facebook now. Let's have it. To find real peace, let the armor go. I think that's really true. The need for acceptance can make you invisible in this world. Loads of people on air, I just know this is true. And lots of people who will listen to this on the replay or anything, your need for acceptance is stopping you putting yourself out there in the industry if you're an actor, or if you're in the media, or you're a singer, or whatever you're, a writer, anything like that. Your need for acceptance and that fear of what other people might think of you, and sometimes it's mental because these are people you don't even know, is absolutely stopping you from doing the thing you want to do. Thus, you are becoming invisible due to that bullshit. That fear. You've got to, let the armor go. Don't worry about it. You don't even need it. We are the light that shines through the film stock. That's what he says. A lot of people watch films, don't they? They're like, oh my God, this character is so amazing and all this sort of stuff. That's all fake. It's not really who that person is. Jim Carrey is not The Mask. He's not liar. He's just the light that shines through the film stock. If you listen to the ego, it will tempt you with the promise of something that you already possess. Again, another thing I say all the time to actors, everything you need is within you now. If you just have the courage to see it through, you don't need anything else. You have it all already. But a lot of people don't realise that. What else have I got here? Yeah, he says, let the universe know what you want, walk towards it without any knowledge of how it comes to pass. I've kind of done that a lot in my life, really. I don't, necessarily buy into the whole universe, law of attraction kind of thing, but I think if you get clarity on what you want and then you walk towards it without any concern of whether you're, ultimately whether you're going to get it or not, you're just like, actually, that's the direction I want to walk in. Time's going to pass anyway. I might as well walk in that direction. And good things just happen. Jim says he looks at challenges. He says, he doesn't know if life happens for you as opposed to you. He just chooses to look at challenges as beneficial. I think everyone in here needs to do that. And then, the second to last, hope walks through the fire, faith leaps over it. Faith's very different to hope. And then love or fear was the last thing that was there that Gary on Twitter just said. Choose love. But ultimately, the whole point of tonight was really to show you the impact that watching something motivational can have on you in terms of wanting to take action right now. And hopefully for somebody out there, even just one person out of, there's normally like 400 people will watch this over the replay and all that kind of stuff. If just one of you is motivated enough to do something now that you weren't going to do otherwise, then it's job done. Literally out of everyone here, if there's 3 of you, 6 of you, whatever, I don't care. If it's just the one, then it's been worthwhile. There's a couple of things I want you guys to do. I want you to subscribe to 3 YouTube channels in particular where any amount of success I've experienced this year has been because of your motivation, buddy. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate that. Jackman's here. Jackman 1985. Is that Hugh Jackman? Or just somebody else? But yeah, 3 channels, right? So like I say, every morning walking back from the gym, I will listen to something like that. And it could be in podcast form, in video form. It could be on YouTube, it could be on Spotify, it could be a podcast on iTunes, that kind of stuff. These are 3 places you can get really good motivational speeches from that aren't even that long. If you just need like a 3-minute kick before you go into an audition, these are 3 places you can get them from. So the first one, hang on a minute. That wasn't supposed to happen. I nearly put Jim back on again. The first one is Absolute Motivation. You will know this channel because I've mentioned it many times. A friend of mine, Nav, runs this channel. It's youtube.com/absolute motivation. Nav is, I've been saying this again for months, but I'm finally tracking him down to commit to a time. We're going to be doing a live broadcast with Nav on building a YouTube audience. His channel, I think it's got like 700,000 subscribers now. And he's only got 45 videos on that channel, but they're super powerful videos. This guy knows his shit when it comes to, really building a following on YouTube and monetizing it as well. So yeah, youtube.com/absolute motivation. The next one is Goalcast. I'm sure you've seen a lot of their videos on Facebook. There's no short URL for that, unfortunately. I don't think they have one, but just search for Goalcast on YouTube and you will find Goalcast videos as well. They're very, very good. And then a new one I found recently that I've listened to a few of their videos. Can't vouch for them totally, but they've got nearly a million subscribers, is Motiversity. It's like a university of motivation. And again, just search for Motiversity on YouTube. Literally between those 3 channels, Motiversity, Goalcast, and Absolute Motivation, you'll find hundreds of hours of this shit, all right? And by the time you've got through it all, go back to the beginning of it because you will have forgotten a lot of the stuff that you heard in the first few videos as well. So subscribe to those, and I would just make it part of your morning ritual for me, just for like a week, to see if it benefits you. And let me know next Monday when we do this again. It'll be on a completely different topic, obviously. Let me know if it's if it's giving you a bit of a spring in your step in the morning. It definitely, for me, it has that effect every single day. I mean, every single day walking back from the gym, I get in and I'm like, bang, right, come on, let's go. And I think that's a combination of the fresh air, intense exercise before 8 o'clock that we know scientifically, particularly for men, intense exercise before 8 a.m., very, very good for you and your state of well-being. For guys in particular, because of testosterone levels are increased in the morning, which means you're actually stronger to work out. Same effect with women, but not quite to the certain extent. But guys, if you want to actually, work out and have a greater efficiency in your workout, build more muscle, work out in the morning before 8 a.m. will not only benefit your body, but it will benefit your mind as well. Helps you create more serotonin and dopamine. Dopamine's the motivation molecule. That's the thing that makes you want to get shit done. We need dopamine in our lives. So check out those channels there. And I want to end on a little quote here. Okay, this is a quote by Zig Ziglar. You'll know he's one of the most famous kind of motivational speakers on the planet to ever have lived. It says, of course, motivation is not permanent. This is what I said at the start of this broadcast. It isn't permanent. This is why you need to do it daily, okay? It's not permanent, but then neither is bathing, all right? But it's something you should do on a regular basis. Your shower doesn't last every day. You can't shower once a week and expect to smell good. So you shower, or I hope you all do, you shower every single day. Motivation is the same thing, okay? You can't expect to watch a motivational video on the 1st of October and it still have an effect on the 31st of October. You're going to be stinking by then. So do it and let me know if it has that effect on you. Alex says, I agree with Jamie. The best line is you can fail at what you don't want, so you may as well take a chance of doing what you love. So true. James is here as well. James Hill. All right, mate. How are we doing? Great to see you. Hope you are well. So I'm going to be back on Wednesday night, guys, for the book club. I don't know what book we're going to read. I just got a pre-release copy of Lewis Howe's brand new book called Mask of Masculinity. It's not just for guys. This book is basically, it's a really interesting read on the masks that ultimately guys in society, something we don't really talk about as men. Men seem to be more emotionally kind of closed off. But it's about the masks that guys effectively wear to get themselves through life and through society. Everything from the stoic mask, the athlete mask, the material mask, the aggressive mask, the joker mask, the invincible mask, the know-it-all mask, the alpha mask. It's a real insight into male psychology. So it's fascinating for women as well, because if you want to work us guys out, I'd love if they did one on women. Let's be able to work you lot out. But yeah, we might be looking at this. I don't know. It doesn't come out until the 31st of October, but Lewis sent me a copy to look at for the book club. So maybe I'll do that this month or when the book's out at the start of November. Looks like an interesting read, though. Anybody else got any suggestions for the book club on Wednesday, give me a shout and I'll do that. There is a caveat here as well. I'm actually going to an event that I'm going to be vlogging at on Wednesday daytime that finishes at 8 p.m. I'm hopefully going to be back in time for the book club. I will keep you posted in the Facebook group about that. If I'm not, we'll do book club. We'll do an extra session at some point. Maybe we'll do Thursday night, or no, we can't do Thursday night. Maybe we'll just skip a week. You can all have a week off the book club, and we'll do it again next week instead. But I've not read your Gary. I got your email. Gary said read my book yet. I got your email, man. I've put it in my saved items. It's something I'll absolutely get round to doing, dude. I assure you. I've just been like, with this animation and stuff, so crazily booked up, and now I'm vlogging twice a week as well. And at the moment, because Lee went on holiday, I had to edit everything myself as well. So it's been a little bit mental, but I promise you, Gary, I will read that, mate. I definitely have not forgotten. James, you can ask a quick off-topic question. What would you like to ask, dude? Let me know on Facebook, and then we will wrap it up. But yeah, I hope you found it useful. I just think there's just a lot of wisdom in that. And I know Jim's a joker, and at the beginning you're like, hurry up, Jim, come on, man, just get on with it. When he gets into it, though, there's in the middle of that speech, there's so much meat there. It's very, very, valuable stuff that he talks about. I'm sure I remember you saying you asked people on Twitter to follow you back so you can DM them. Do you think that's okay? I can't find an email for them, but I want to reach out to them. Yeah, so all I would do, James, so if you want to actually message somebody on Twitter, they need to be following you and you need to be following them if you want to message them privately. So if I've got something that I don't want to put out in the public sphere, I will just drop them a quick tweet, James. I'd just go, @James. Hey James, would love to ask you a question regarding, and if you want to say what it is, blah 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 blah. If not, it doesn't matter. Say, I've got a question. Would love to ask you. Really, looking for an answer for something. Would you mind, following me so I can DM you? And they will. The alternative is find them on Instagram if they're on Instagram, and you don't need to be following each other to send them a message on Instagram. The only thing that happens there, though, is it goes into their message request box like it does on Facebook. And so many times people have sent me messages on Facebook and I missed it. I've been like, shit, man, I didn't get your message because it's gone into that box that I never look at. So it's a bit risky, but I would definitely do Instagram if they've got it. But totally, honestly, James, you've got to ask. Don't, that whole thing there, what did we just say? That quote that was... what did Jim say exactly? Let me find this so I can get it right. What you're doing there is your need for acceptance is making you invisible, James. Don't be freaking invisible, man. Who gives a shit if that person goes, no, James, I'm not going to do, how cheeky of you sending me a request to DM you on Twitter. Just go, I don't care, I don't want to work with you anyway, if that's your attitude, dick. But don't say that, because I'm sure they won't. But no one's going to be like that. Honestly, James, most human beings are just lovely people. And if you ask for help, they want to give you help. I've never rebuked somebody for asking me for help, or, you know, I've never been shunned for asking for help. It's like, it's a vulnerability, and it's a powerful vulnerability you have. When you need help, you ask for it. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get it. And the times you don't get it, it's not because they don't want to give it a lot of times, just maybe they don't have the time, or, you know, they're overwhelmed by whatever, so it's not the right time for them to give it you. But yeah, people, stop apologizing for existing and stop apologizing for wanting more from your life. It's bullshit. Like, you will wake up one day and be 90 years old. I hope you do anyway. You know, getting older is a bit of a privilege a lot of people don't get, but if we all do, I'm getting to 100 myself, but if you, you will wake up and be 90, and you'll realize, James, we've said this before, man, I've spoke to you about this when we've been doing the Bulletproof stuff, like, there'll be a chance where you're not even physically able to send a tweet anymore. You know, do it now whilst you can. And if you can do it literally right now, as we stand at 3 minutes to 10 on a Monday night, do it now. Don't wait till the morning. This is external motivation, James, that will hopefully internally motivate you now to get this shit done. Just do it right now. I'll check your Twitter feed after this and see if you've done it, because it's just pointless. It's just pointless worrying about it, and looking for acceptance is making you invisible, my man. So don't do that. Hope it's been useful. Thank you so much for listening on the audio experience. If you're listening, if you're watching on the replay on YouTube, appreciate you so much. Please subscribe. Get everybody over to my other YouTube channel, Watch Ross. Please just do a search on YouTube, hashtag Watch Ross. Subscribe to that channel. Leave. He's just done it. James, round of applause, man. He's just done it. He just sent it. Good lad. Let me know the reply. But yeah, get yourself over at YouTube, search for Watch Ross, subscribe to that channel, and then I will be drawing somebody at random at the end of this year. And if you're an actor, I'm going to pay for your spotlight fees next year. If you're not an actor, I'm just going to buy you something lovely for about 150 quid to say thank you very much for your support. So yeah, watch Ross and go and watch the episodes, because they're bloody funny. Even if I say so myself, I think they'll offer you value and entertainment. Education and entertainment. I'd like to coin them edutainment. Yeah. Going to go now before I embarrass myself. In fact, no, I can't go, can I? Because I can't. I've got to end this. I've got to end this on bloody Facebook. This is where it all just starts falling apart. And I'm like, Facebook needs to be able to allow you to end stuff far more elegantly than the way that it does. It even takes forever to like load stuff up. There we go. Where's the button that says end? Is it going to load? There you go. There it is. Right. I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry if I've just missed your comments. Steve says, watch it for the bonnet roll. At the end of episode 4, I do a James Bond bonnet roll over Sean's car. I mean, it's worth watching it just for that, to be honest. Definitely. It's incredible. Thank you, Helen. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you all. We'll catch up with you soon. If we can do anything for you, as always, tweet me at Act On This, at Act On This TV, at Ross A. Grant. And yeah, I'll be back very, very soon for a bit more. I'll see you guys Wednesday night, touch wood, 9 p.m. Bye for now.